Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Happily Ever After Season 5, Episode 2 of 90 Day Fiance. Okay? If you have not done so already, please remember to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. Dun, 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 and all that goodness and stuff. Y'all know what I gotta do now. Inhale and exhale. Okay, remember to inhale and exhale, and at all times, relax, relate, release, and center yourself. Okay, you can also like this video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media. Okay, follow me on IG and or Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Hey, I'm gonna put my pin my hair up. I think it look like a weird bouffant, but I don't know how I look on camera, and I'm putting up clothes, so don't judge me. But anyway, so let's get into this particular episode, okay? First up, we have Colt. Colt. Now, Colt and Jess. I'm like, oh, Jess, I guess it's going to be on every episode now, so I had to put a picture of her. He's still visiting her in Chicago and everything, and, she like, I want you to talk to your mama about me. And he like, oh, okay. He don't want to at all, but I'm like, Colt, you a grown ass man, dog. I mean, your mom, what you gonna do? Ground you? She don't work. Your mama can't do it. Just tell her. Just talk to her. So we then see them hanging out, you know what I'm saying, on a little boat ride, you know what I'm saying, around Chicago on the river. And he asked her, well, have you been dating, anyone since you've been here, whatever? She's like, yeah, like 6 or 7 dates I've been, whatever. He's like, really, for because I think she's been there for 6 months. He's like, well, that's, okay. And she's like, my hair kept falling down, so I just had to let it be down. Don't judge my hair. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna put it up and go to bed in a minute. But she brings up how she was doing that because it helps her speak English or whatever. Now he said, I feel jealous, and she's like, why? It was before you. You had a life before me, and I had a life before you. So ain't no point in feeling jealous or whatever. He then asked, what makes me special? I said, are you special, Colt? Are you sure? And she said, would you like to have sex? And I like to have sex. So we're back. She got to laugh. I'm like, she really likes sex with Colt, but she brings up how she likes sex with Colt because Colt allows her to be in charge. I say, girl, I guess so. So she then asked, like, what happened with your ex-wife? He then said, well, she beat me. She beat me. She was arrested 3 times for beating me or whatever. I think she used me to come to this country, and I was just miserable. Okay? I'm so sorry to hear that, because you're such a good person. Jess, Colt isn't a horrible person, but Colt's also a very much so an asshole. So I feel, girl, I need my spleens cut so bad. Colt is just not innocent. Colt likes to play like, oh my God, Larissa was horrible. Larissa was bad, but you knew how bad she was and allowed her to be that way. So I'm like, Colt, let it go. We then see Colt and old girl, and they go meet her friends, okay, who seems to also be, I guess, Brazilian, because they all speak with an accent and everything, and they all speak in a different language, but I don't know. So they was talking or whatever. They asked Colt, like, well, do you have a roommate in Vegas? Because when he said he lived in Vegas, one group's like, oh, really? I'm like, Colt not balling. He not balling. But they said, you have a roommate? He's like, well, my mom lives with me. I take care of my mom. Oh, a man who stays with his mom, that's just weird. Colt is weird. And Jess is weird for wanting to be with Colt, but that's what it is. So then in their own language, she stopped speaking English, and she's saying to the friends how, he be having this girl who always calling him on the phone, this girl named Vanessa, and I don't know who she is or whatever, but he keeps saying she's just a friend. So when he heard them say the word Vanessa, he's like, why y'all bring her up? I'm saying? She's a friend. I met her at the gym. When the one friend said, listen, lady, when the one friend said, since when did Colt start going to the gym? I say, why you call that man fat? Why you do this to that man? Okay, when he goes to the gym. He went to the gym when he met the lady or whatever. He brings up how he met her over like online or whatever, and they kind of hung out. He met her when he and Larissa was going through a divorce, and so he's known her, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit of time or whatever. But again, they just friends. I'm like, well, if you say so. But he then said how he, you know, because Jess told him that she wanted him to stop talking to Vanessa, and so Colt then say, well, I laughed at Jess and told her that I wasn't gonna keep talking to Vanessa because, you know what I'm saying, it's what she want me to do. But I lied. I don't want to really end my friendship with Vanessa because I don't know just that much. Colt, he's just dumb or whatever. It's just weird because you there like claiming her to be your girlfriend, but you like, I don't know if I really want to, you know, stop having this other friend for this friend or whatever. So, you know, they then start talking. He asked the friends about, well, can y'all tell me stuff about Jess, because I don't know much about her. You know, she don't talk much about her past. The friends then say, excuse me, well, you know, with your past, you know, you are the ones to have to worry about. You know, you don't have anything to worry about with Jess. I'm saying she's a good person. And Cole said, I feel like she hiding something and her friends is helping her hide it. I mean, I agree. I think that's true, but we're going to let that be. Now, the friends and Jess all want to go hang out. Colt wants to go back to the hotel. And the friend, like, you know, you can't control her. You know, she wants to come hang out. You can't make her go back to the hotel with you. And she's like, yeah, because I want to go out. He's like, well, I want to go back to the hotel. Now, Colt brings up a point, saying, like, I'm not here often. Like, she can hang out with her friends anytime. Like, why would she want to have me here, but then she go hang out with them? And so Jess says, you know what, I agree. I'm going to go back with Colt to the hotel. Now, in the car, on the ride back to the hotel, she feel like, you know, he trying to control her. You know, he wants her to do what he wants to do. You know, Colt is boring or whatever. She's more social and blah, blah, blah. And he like, you know, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you know, when it comes to me and you know, we should put each other above our friends. Like, our friends shouldn't be the one who kind of dictate what we do or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of force them back and forth or whatever. And I'm like, what? Why? For what? Colt don't know her that well. And all she wants to do is bang Colt. I'm like, I don't, look, it's weird. You know, and you're like, you know, I don't want to get in another crazy situation. Well, then stop dating Brazilian women who you don't know. Colt. And next we have a Paul and Karine, and my hair is tied up, okay? So Paul and Karine has been on 18,765 versions of this damn show. Paul is 35, Karine is 23, okay? And they have been married for 2 years and have, as we see, a young son named Pierre, okay? Now, they have been living in Brazil for about a year. Paul is from, I don't know, somewhere in the States. And again, she's from Brazil or whatever. And again, you know, they have been living there, be like, you know, things ain't working out too well here. Mainly because he can't make no real money there. And she don't work there at all. You know what I'm saying? And he like, you know, we just not, you know, having good financial situations here. So they're going to move to the U.S. so that he can try to get a job and try to support them better. I do feel like even if he came back here and got a job at Burger King, it'll still be more money than he was making over there in Brazil, okay? Because that's just what it is. Now, they've had a crazy relationship the whole time. They have been, you know, together before and after the wedding. It was really not until she had the baby that they got kind of like on stable ish footing or whatever, but we shall see. Now, you know, he brings up how because they want to come back to the States, that he was able to get her a spousal visa, and within that spousal visa, it also gave her a 2-year green card approval, you know, before she even got to America. So technically, she would be a permanent resident once she comes here, with him or whatnot. So, you know, he brings up how a lot of people thought, like in the beginning, that she was using him to come here. He said, but she really did not even want to come to the state. Like, she was fine living in Brazil forever. Like, she's never left home. So even she say, like, I don't want to leave. Like, I would be fine just staying here in Brazil. I think it's because she's used to struggling. Like, she's used to not having much, because even there, not having much is just enough. You know what I'm saying? We see it as struggling, not having enough. Where she like, you know, I have what I like, my basic necessities ish. You know what I'm saying? We do see how, you know, he chats with his mom on video. because like I don't really have a place for us to stay once we get there. I'm like, how you packing to move back to America, but y'all ain't got a place to stay? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And how did you afford to get her a visa if y'all don't have any money to live here? I'm so confused. And so he asked the mom, like, Mom, in our times, is it possible that for a little bit of time, when I come back, if I can stay with y'all? And she's like, well, the answer to that, son. No. Okay, nope, it's impossible because you will come here, you won't want to leave or whatever. You have your own family. You need to be, get your life together. I can help you get a hotel for a few days, but that ain't nothing permanent. Like you need to figure out what you want to do, okay? Because you old enough and like, no, you cannot come here. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure this shit out. I'm looking like, oh, look at the mama. See, this is what you want to see. You want to see somebody putting their foot down. I mean, it's too late because he's already fucked up. But at least, like, you can't come back here. You need to get your own place. It is past time for you to be responsible and get your own place. We then see Karine talking to her mom, just because she's leaving, and the mom like, I just worry because she's leaving, and I don't want Paul, being mean to her because Paul has that whole attitude problem or whatever. And so the mom is like, because she'll be so far away, like I'm just concerned about how things will go. And Karine, for the most part, like what I'm saying, we haven't even got return tickets because like we plan to be there. And she brings up how I think I owe it to Paul to go there because he's been here for so long, like he's been away from his family for so long. We should go and be there for a little while too. But again, we have not bought return tickets yet, meaning they'll be there probably for a couple years. I'm like, first of all, y'all can't afford return tickets. Okay, let's say that. Then we have Kalani and Asuelu. So we see Asuelu. He's out here at the little gym with his friends playing volleyball. Okay. Now he brings up how, it's very hard for him being here in America because the culture of what he, how he lived in Samoa is different than being here in the States. He brings up how, back at home, I was raised to where the women, took care of home and watched the kids and the men did men stuff. And we then see video of him like out in the fields working, doing stuff outside, but not being at home with the children. He said so it's strange for him to see Kalani need help with the kids because like I don't know that. And while we all know that Asuelu was like a 5-year-old and Asuelu does not help with the kids, I can understand that's not how he was raised. Like he was raised where the women in this country were able to have 5 kids and the men did not need to help. The women were able to handle it. Whereas over here, we do have women who are able to do that, but the men are just expected to also help. It really is 2 different cultures. So I can get him saying like, it's a culture shock because I'm just not used to the women around needing help with kids. It's a hard thing to make it seem like he's a complete jerk because again, she knew his lifestyle before he came here. She then chose to get pregnant not once but twice by a 5-year-old. Okay, I mean he's really nothing other way. So he also brings up how he's homesick and he wants to go back and see his family because he has not seen his family since last year, July. He brings up how, I just want my kids to, be connected to my culture. I don't want to be here and then they just have no idea, where I come from. And I don't want to be here and lose, parts of me. So I try to teach them, Samoan words or whatever. And I try to give them what I can, but I also want them to be around my family. I want, for us to go visit my family. He brings up how I know I'm not earning a lot of money. I have like a little part-time job, but I hope that we can go home to visit my family so that I can just have that connection again. And again, it's because Asuelu was 10. He isn't a grown man yet. You know what I'm saying? She would have been better getting somebody who was like 30 over Asuelu, but she was hot in the ass, a whole hot in the ass virgin. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? The friends, they didn't. Well, I get it. It can be hard or whatever, but you need to save money if you want to go back home. So we then see Asuelu go home. Okay, he plans a whole little sweet date night with Kalani because she told him I want some alone time. So he listened to her, Okay, I plan a whole special romantic date for us, just me and you, because you want some alone time. He gives her flowers, he gives her candies or whatever, and say, this is for my love. I love you. And it's very sweet. And he takes her on a date, and she's like, oh my God, where are we going? And then he gets there, and it's an axe throwing date. I'm like, an axe? What? It's the place you go when you just throw axes. I mean, okay. And she's like, so this is your idea of a romantic date? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, again, he's a child. So what do you expect? But at the end of the day, he thought it was something fun and active and just them two or whatever. But she do bring up how she did have fun because it was just two of them. He then said, I just wanted for you here, but I also want to let you know that, I'm saying, I got to tell you something. Well, what? I'm homesick. I miss my family, and I want us to go visit them in Samoa. She's like, the tickets alone is like $3,000, so I don't know, I don't want to go there and we spend all this money and then come home and we can't pay our bills. Then you shouldn't go. You should not use your savings. Look, can he even get the time off work without getting fired to go back to Samoa? That's the first question. Because y'all, girl, it's just, it is what it is. He brings up how, well, we also have to give, bring some gifts or money for them, because that's just the standard tradition. When you come visit the family, you have to bring them like something. She brings up how, the family is always wanting like money from us, and it's just weird. They'll want like gifts, like they want a whole cow, and the cow is very expensive. She said, I'll buy like a goat, but I won't buy, maybe not a goat. She's like, I'll buy one animal I'll buy a pig, because a pig is not as expensive as a cow. And I said, I guess so. But, she brings up how they're just consistently asking for more and more things. And so she doesn't have the best relationship with his family, because she doesn't allow him to send them all the stuff they need. I'm looking like, because he don't work. He works at like a gas station or 7-Eleven, or it's like it's just dumb. And I'm like, it's just weird. So then she brings up how, we can probably go, but if we go there and you don't help me with the kids, then I'm going to pack the kids up and I'm going to fly back home. I said, first of all, you would not be able to afford the ticket to change. Like, you can't afford to change the ticket. So if he doesn't do anything, like, you can't leave. You just stuck there until y'all come back. These two, honey, they both get on my nerves for different reasons. Elizabeth likes to be upset with Andrei for how he consistently wants her dad to pay for things, but she allows him to do that. It ain't no way on this earth that my husband would have the audacity to just demand that my parent pay for something that we can't afford just on GP. No, not when you haven't supported us as my husband yet. Like, you haven't proved yourself to my family. Why would I keep asking them to pay for shit that's not a necessity? No, not on my watch, okay? Now, she's like, I'm upset that, he wants to have this whole wedding in Moldova. I'm upset, but you're upset. It don't mean shit if you're not going to tell them that y'all can't do it because y'all can't afford it. So ain't no point in being upset, okay? So he then brings about, your family's rich. They have money. They have these fancy cars. They can do whatever. They can miss, a couple days of work. And if they can't come, who cares? Like, what I'm saying? Whoever comes. I'm like, the fact that he said they're rich, they can afford it, it shouldn't matter. I'm like, who says that? They're rich, but you're poor. You can't afford shit. You don't work. Bum, okay? Anyway, he then said, well, aren't you excited for the wedding? She's like, of course. Well, of course I'm excited. To go over to Moldova, but who's going to pay for it? Your dad will. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, you were Elizabeth is the poster child for picking a man who can't afford her just so her daddy can keep paying for her. I'm like, I just don't get it. I really don't. So we then see she goes to, I don't know who house that was at, but the sisters to come over, okay? And at this point in time, it's a goddamn on a breastfeeding party. I'm looking like, okay, because everybody at the pool sitting with their babies breastfeeding. Okay, that's fine. So she then tells them how Andrei really wants this wedding for his family, okay? It's really for his family, but he's just going about it the wrong way because you're allowing him to do that. That's the problem. He really feels as if he don't have to answer. He can be the non-workingest, no money having, he probably don't have good dick person. You can still make him feel as if he has the rights to say that your father would pay for a wedding in his country. Girl, the fuck by. Anyway, they're like, well, who's gonna ask dad for the money? He wants me to ask that. That is, of course, he would, want to plan a wedding and want dad to pay for it and then not want to ask that. But your sister is allowing it to happen. So guess who's the dummy? Your sister, Elizabeth. Also your daddy, but I digress. So we then see the sister and say, I was looking up Moldova. I was Googling it or whatever, and it said that, Moldova is the scariest place to visit. I say, bitch, do you not know what's happening in America? Do you not know? I'm like, you know what? These white women have no idea how scary it is in America. She like, it's just as scary. They have robberies there, I'm like, it's dangerous here, bitch. We dying every day. But let me leave it alone. Anyway, we then see, Elizabeth goes to talk to her dad. And the dad, like, I get, that y'all want a wedding in this country. I get that because the daughter, like, has to be baptized. And in order for the daughter to be baptized, the parents have to have been married in his country. I say, okay, I that's fine. So that's the reason they want to rush and have this wedding thing done in Moldova. He said, okay, but what's, who gonna pay for? Like, what's the plan to pay for the services or whatever? She then say, well, we was gonna ask you to pay for it. He says, I knew it. I'm not even shocked that he wanted me to pay for this, but I'm upset that you didn't tell him to come to me himself about the money. Meaning, if your husband wants me to pay for stuff, don't send you. He should come as a man and talk to me. And then I feel like I'm caught in the middle. I'm just so upset that I don't know what to do. And she starts crying these white ass tears. And when I say white woman tears, I mean white woman tears. That just means tears of a white woman that's crying over something that really it's not that deep. But they're crying to get attention and to get their way. And what does her dad do? Of course, I'll pay for the wedding because you're my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be happy. Her dad is the reason she's with a man who cannot afford to take care of her. Her dad is the reason that her and Andrei will always fail because he keeps bailing them out versus making them be. He's not teaching them how to fish. He's just giving them fish. That's dumb. That don't make no sense. Girl, I'm like, and then when she go back home and say, I went and talked to my dad, I got emotional. And I didn't want him to say yes because I was emotional, but I got emotional and he said yes. He then say, okay, so how much you giving us? So how much you like, how much is it? And she's like, we didn't talk about a number. He's like, you know what? Okay, fine. we're going to go big in about 40 or 50 grand. And I'm like, he really spending money he don't have. Elizabeth then said, I'm so aggravated that he's, he just acting so entitled. And I was like, who do you think he gets it from? You. I'm not sure why Larissa's on this season because we haven't been getting much from her. She applied for a green card, so now she's just waiting to see what happens. I feel like Larissa's only here to interrupt whatever Colt has going on. I think that's the reason, but I digress. So while she's waiting for her green card to be, approved or whatever, in the meantime, she takes some pole dance classes because she's like, I don't like to work out, but I want my body to look like a stripper. So I'm going to take some pole dance classes, to get some exercise in. Now, she brings up how I was raised Catholic. But the real Larissa is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day I can be a stripper. That's what you want? I don't want to be Catholic anymore. I want to be a stripper. There is so much in between those things. It's too much. She then brings up, it's just so hard to find a man. I mean, cheap man, maybe. So, the friend, she's like, I think I could be a lesbian because it's just, these men out here, they just nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want it. I want someone who's not too young, not too old, who's in shape, has some money, not like Colt. I'm like, we get it. It's fine. So the friend she's with then says, well, you know what? How about I know a guy? Like, do you want to go on a blind date? She's like, what is a blind date? So she don't know what a blind date is. She's like, oh, I could date a blind man. I'm like, it doesn't mean he's blind. She's like, oh, no, that just means you're going to date with someone who you haven't seen before. And she agrees to go on a blind date, and then that was it. I'm like, why? Is she here for us to see this face? And we have Angela. Angela goes to the doctor, okay? She goes to the doctor to see her gynecologist, who was shocked shitless when Angela came in saying, I'm here because, I'm dating this man. He's my fiance. He's younger than me. And he wants kids. And she was like, okay, what you doing here? And she looked puzzled. She's like, are you still having periods? Well, for the past, I haven't had one for 3 years, but for the past 4 or 5 days, I've been on my period. And she was like, it's very unlikely that that's a period. You know what I'm saying? We should get that figured out because something could be wrong. And I'm like, right, you're 54. You're 54, you have not had a period in 3 years, and your vagina starts bleeding. How did you not say, you know what, something could be wrong here, but I digress, okay? So, Angela then brings up, I was in Nigeria, and, so I had an appointment there, and the doctor there told me that she saw one egg, and she was like, let's get an ultrasound done. The doctor then said, you know what, that one egg, it could have really been an ovarian cyst because you're 54 and it's just not likely that you'll be able to get pregnant now or whatever. So the doctor's in there looking around or whatever. I don't even see your ovaries. I don't see that, you know what I'm saying? And as you get older, your ovaries shrink. Okay. But that's good because I don't see a cyst. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't see any eggs. So there's 0% chance that you can have a child. Okay. Now you can get pregnant with a donor egg. You know what I'm saying? However, your uterus is enlarged, and which is probably due to fibroids. You need to have an endometriosis biopsy she said, because I think that the bleeding could have been, the thing of you growing, uterine cancer. And she was like, so I could have cancer? I was like, oh, shit. Look, I don't have time for y'all giving Angela some serious ass, crisis. I can't. I can't handle it. I can't not joke about her. It just doesn't work that way. I just can't. So the doctor, saying again, you don't have an appointment. We can't see all of that on ultrasound. You need to get these appointments set up because again, it could be this. This could be the reason why you've been bleeding for 4 or 5 days. It's not a period. It's not a period. There is no egg up there. You cannot birth the child on your own. Not only that, if you have uterine cancer or something, you can't even get pregnant via surrogate. You can't carry at that point in time. I can't. So she goes home to talk to her mom. Okay. And she told her mom about the appointment. Now we see her mom is very, 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 very sick. Okay. She brings up how her mom has had cancer 5 times. And so she's like, Mom, I'm doing this and I'm doing that or whatever. The doctor said this and that. Now the mom then said, I'm worried, because if the doctor said that she could have cancer, I'm worried that she could be sick and that no one knows it, so she needs to get this testing done. But she also said at 54, you don't need to be trying to have any more kids. Now the crazy part is, mom was talking, I'm like, it's hard for her to breathe. I just felt so bad, mainly because we know her mom passed away. And well, Mom, I have your blessing to go, to Nigeria and to marry Michael, because that's the only way I can, marry him and get him here. Angela says her mom's wish is for her to see her get married. I'm like, I believe she had been married before. So I'm like, have your mom been to one of your weddings? I digress. So as she's saying, Mom, have your blessing. Mom's like, yeah, my blessing. But she also brings about, I never thought that Angela and Michael would get married. I just didn't think it would happen. So I only gave her my blessing because if I didn't, she would have won anyway. Because she's 54 years old. Angela then says to her mom, I just need you to stay alive until I get back. I said, no, who says that? you know, what? And I ain't dying yet. Don't worry about me. I'm like, look. Her mom is very sick. Her mom has had cancer 5 times. Her mom currently has pneumonia. And her mom is older in age. Her mom is having trouble breathing. And if it was me, I would not leave and go away for weeks, 2-3 weeks to Nigeria. If my mom is this, I damn sure wouldn't go while she has pneumonia. Lastly, we have Tania and Syngin. I'm so surprised they actually got married. I don't know. Now, they have been married for 5 months, and they're currently in Connecticut. Now, they was ice skating, and he was like, this is what a South African looks like, ice skating. And he just rolling around, falling, and getting back up. I'm like, Lord, that's 2020. So we see that Tanya, or the Tanya, I don't care, was in a car accident, and she had to have surgery on her foot because she broke one of her toe bones, so she's in like a little boot, and so she can't work right now. She's in physical therapy and all that stuff. Now he brings up how, when he moved here from South Africa, you know what I'm saying, of course we know that they had been living in her mama's backyard in her she shed. Okay, the she shed was Syngin and Tanya, and it was always fussing about all kinds of stuff. Tanya told him how she did not think he was her soulmate. And I'm like, well, that was some bullshit or whatever. But they still got married. Okay. Now, currently, they're moving into their first, home together, whatever. They're moving out of the she shed. Now, he brings up how, he wanted to move out of state because he wanted to be in a warmer climate. But once she got into a car accident, and because she's in physical therapy there, they can't move because she has insurance. She basically has Medicaid through the state. And so because she has, state insurance, she wants to finish out her physical therapy before she goes anywhere else. I'm like, I guess that makes sense. But you can get Medicaid in any state. Okay. So they're moving into this apartment. They're like, oh, it's like 5 times bigger than the she shed. I'm like, yeah, because the she shed is a shed. It's not a house or an apartment. I'm like, it is what it is. So, they're going to be living there based off her savings. Okay. And Syngin has gotten his work visa because since she can't work, he has his work visa and he has to get a job to be able to pay bills. I'm like, I don't think he gonna like that. And it's weird because he like, I can't believe I have to get a job. You know what I'm saying? It's so stressful. I'm like, how did you think you would be here and not work? I don't get it. It's just weird. Even if y'all move to California or to whatever warmer climate, you will still need to eventually work to make money. But I'm like, whatever. And I feel like if he has a work permit, he can get any job in like a little bar, as a bartender, as a bouncer. Because he's, that's what he did in South Africa. I'm looking like he don't have to get a job like in an office. So we do see them go visit her sister. We know her and sister at times was at odds. They're getting along right now. Now while they're there, talking about, we've moved. He has to get a job now so he can pay bills. But I'm nervous because, he be drinking a lot. And I'm like, oh, is he a drunk? So apparently Syngin in South Africa would get into fights, would get really, really drunk, and would get in trouble at work. So she was sent out when he gets here. She does not want him to put certain jobs on like his little resume because if they call a job, they can say, well, yeah, he worked here, but we fired him because he got drunk on the job and destroyed property. I'm like, that's not good at all. She brings about even now that he's here, he still drinks a lot. Like he wakes up and drinks. He drinks all day. She's like, if I want to get up at 10 a.m. and I want a beer, then I'll have a beer. Syngin does seem to be like aggressively upset that she doesn't want him to drink. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be drinking on the job though. Like, I mean, that's just kind of weird. But you kind of see them having this sparring match to where you knew he had a drinking problem before you married him. And you still married him. You assumed that he would just stop drinking. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. And his thing is, I would not, try to jeopardize or I would not sabotage myself here working. I would be different here than I was in South Africa. I'm like, then Syngin, why haven't you stopped drinking? Because she brings up how, he was drunk the other night. He's basically drinking and getting drunk every day. I'm like, well, that's called an alcoholic. That's you knowingly married an alcoholic. that's on you, sis. That's on you, okay? And you can't marry someone who you know who they are and assume we married now, change. That's what cause divorce. But girl, I'm gonna let it go. So that was today's whole episode. So we'll see what happens next time. I have to go. Hope you enjoyed. Do not forget to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe, to follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. And until next time, people.